Marc Marquez continues to be the defining figure of the 2025 MotoGP season, even on a day when victory slipped through his grasp. The 8-time world champion produced a blistering start in the Misano sprint race, surging from 4th to 2nd before slotting in behind pole-sitter Marco Bezzecchi. The Italian briefly held the advantage, but errors crept in, and Marquez was ruthless in capitalizing, slicing through with the kind of aggression that has long defined his career. Moments later, the Spaniard also disposed of Aprilia's challenge, seizing control of the race. For several laps, it appeared a familiar script was unfolding, the relentless Marquez leading from the front, dictating the pace, and suffocating his rivals' hopes. Yet at turn 15, his charge unravelled. Pushing with his trademark intensity, Marquez lost the front and crashed, gifting away what could have been his 15th sprint victory of the season and a further 12 points. Crucially, however, the crash has done little to derail his title campaign. With brother Alex Marquez finishing second, the championship equation remains tantalizingly clear. The world crown is set to stay within the Marquez household. With 6 Grands Prix still on the calendar, only Marc and Alex are mathematically in contention. It is a statistic that underlines the extraordinary dominance of the brothers from Cervera, rewriting MotoGP history in the process. In the aftermath, Marc was candid in his self-assessment. Known for his fearless racecraft, he admitted the fall was a result of overconfidence in tricky conditions. "I always say it, people think I'm from another planet, but I'm just human. Mistakes happen. I took big risks at the start, in the first 2 corners and in overtaking Bezzecchi. That's how you surprise rivals. But with the front tyre temperature, I misjudged it, and everything came together at turn 15. Despite the disappointment, Marquez's outlook remains grounded. His insistence on learning from errors and prioritizing consistency mirrors the mindset that has carried him through a career of dizzying highs and grueling lows. Another significant consequence of Misano is the elimination of Francesco Bagnaia from championship contention. The world champion can no longer mathematically defend his crown, a blow that reverberated across the paddock and among the Italian faithful. For Ducati, it symbolizes a shift in power. The title battle is no longer between factory giants, but a private family affair between the Marquez brothers. Yet not all Italian fans took the drama with grace. Sections of the Misano crowd openly celebrated Marquez's fall, a gesture that the Spaniard was quick to dismiss. With actions like that, they define themselves. I don't need to give them more attention. It was a measured response from a rider long accustomed to hostility on rival turf, demonstrating maturity in the face of provocation. The 2025 season has thrown up countless storylines, but none more compelling than the Marquez family dominance. Marc, the elder statesman, has rediscovered his ruthless edge after years blighted by injury. Alex, once cast in his brother's shadow, has quietly built consistency and pace, positioning himself as a genuine challenger for the biggest prize of all. That the MotoGP title is now guaranteed to bear the Marquez name is a remarkable twist, a dynastic grip on the sport not seen since the Rossi era. Where Valentino built an empire on charisma and flair, the Marquez brothers have achieved their supremacy through ferocity, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of victory. For Marc, the prospect of sealing the championship in Japan Honda's spiritual home and a track synonymous with his past glory carries a poetic weight. For Alex, the mission is clear: keep the fight alive, deny his brother an early coronation, and perhaps write his own chapter in this family saga. With 6 races still to come, the focus shifts from if the Marquez name will be crowned to which Marquez will stand on the top step of the world. Marc's experience and pace make him the overwhelming favourite, yet Alex's steady hand and opportunism could still spring a surprise. What is certain is that MotoGP finds itself in the grip of a family dynasty. The rivals, once dreaming of halting the #93 juggernaut, are now forced to watch as two brothers rewrite the sport's competitive landscape. The fear is real and it is spreading. The Marquez brothers' domination also stirs echoes of MotoGP's golden eras. Fans recall the Duhan years in the 1990s, or Valentino Rossi's near-decade-long reign in the 2000s. Yet what separates the Marquez dynasty is its dual-pronged assault. Two siblings forged in the same household, now dictating the fate of the entire championship. It is not just a sporting storyline, but a human one, where bloodlines intertwine with the fiercest competitive arena on two wheels. For the rest of the grid, the Misano sprint underlined a brutal reality. Riders like Jorge Martin, Enea Bastianini and Maverick Vinales have shown flashes of brilliance, yet none has managed the relentless week-in, week-out consistency that defines the Marquez charge. The psychological blow of seeing Bagnaia eliminated so early cannot be overstated. A season once predicted to be tightly contested has instead been reduced to an in-house duel. Alex Marquez, often described as the quieter, more reserved of the brothers, now faces a challenge unlike any other. In many ways, his situation is unenviable. Should he triumph, his success will inevitably be framed against Marc's towering legacy. Should he fall short, critics may dismiss him as forever the younger brother. Yet Alex's calmness, patience and tactical maturity suggest he may thrive under this pressure rather than buckle. Technically, Marc's crash at turn 15 was a reminder of MotoGP's razor-thin margins. A slight miscalculation in tyre temperature, a marginally aggressive entry, and the race unravels. The modern prototype machines demand perfection at every braking marker and every acceleration point. Marc's honesty in admitting his error not only disarms critics, but highlights the constant dance between genius and catastrophe in elite motorcycle racing. The reaction from sections of the Misano crowd who cheered at Marc's fall has also reopened debates about sporting culture. While rivalries are the lifeblood of MotoGP, the hostility towards Marquez in Italy speaks volumes about his polarizing status. Loved by some, resented by others, he remains a figure who provokes emotion wherever he races. For Dorna and MotoGP organizers, the incident may raise questions about how the sport manages tribalism in an increasingly global championship. More than a physical contest, the closing stages of this season are set to become a battle of psychology. Marc thrives on pressure, often raising his performance when the stakes are highest. Alex, meanwhile, must decide whether to confront his brother directly or wait for mistakes to unfold naturally. Each race will not only test their speed, but their nerve, patience, and strategic cunning. The mental chess between siblings could be as decisive as the action on track.